Come on, you guys, let's show 'em how to party ponyville style. Come on, you guys, let's show 'em how to party on the go.
Hello, Canterlot. This is Noctrix, one of your favorite hosts of the Canterlot Voice, Canterlot.com's premier podcast session. Today we have a bunch of very new, interesting stuff to go over, including episode 4 of season 3. That's what we've all been waiting for. Am I right? Am I right? Anyway. All right. Joining me today, we have our co-host, Brain by Saucepans.
Hello.
Hello, Saucy. How are you doing today?
I'm fine, thanks. Slightly confused you saying you're one of the favourites. I would say you're definitely in the top 5.
Definitely top 5? Well, there are below 7 people in our group
Don't
anyway,
explain the joke.
Ah.
Never explain the joke. First rule of comedy, man.
Oh my god. Oh, and isn't there that rule about triplets? Anyway, moving on. We have a very special guest on today. Her name is My Little Pony Tails, and as you all know, she's a moderator. Anyway, how are you, Tails?
Doing good.
Meh, doing good. That's what Tails said. If anybody has any objections, you can leave right now. Today's featured artist would be Sky Monkey. Now, Sky Monkey has been on the website for quite a long time, and just like everyone else on the website, Sky Monkey has a very, very interesting kind of style of art. No one on our website does anything the same as anybody else. For every Brian Blackberry, there is a Popcorn Puffs, and for every Sky Monkey, there is a Lavine Moonlight.
Well, I have to say, my favourite would probably be Pegaponies. I love the sort of pastel shading of it, and she is very good at clear outlines and very, very solid use of that.
It's so cloudy and wispy. It's like the colors are so well blended. I love it. It's like, it's not like everything's so soft. It's really nice. Personally, my favorite, to be perfectly honest, I would have to go with Spike's Love Life. I think that's just funny. I think that's really funny. And plus, I think Apple Bloom actually kind of looks like a monkey, like something you'd see from like Ape Escape, and I think that's really cute and adorable, and it makes me remember my childhood. What about you, Tails?
I do like the Pegaponies. It's very cute.
It's nice to see
I
that
do
we
like
have...
the Pegaponies, and since it's like it's a more recent work, it's definitely looks like she's improved. I also like this one. It's Hey, can I join fellow guards? It reminds me of a older users member, Mudbug, their character, Starlight, who was also a Pegasus.
Starlight, shining bright, Starlight,
with
Starlight.
Rainbowy mane.
Oh my god, Rainbow. And I love how the one's just like, yeah, man, I'm so serious. Look at these pecs. Oh my god, I'm so muscular. And then the other one beside him is just like, hey man, what's with this little rainbow thing right beside us? It looks kind of funny. I don't really think he's supposed to be there. Guys?
I should say about Sky Monkey's art is she does have a solid grasp of expressions. Once again, it's one of those things you can tell what the characters are actually thinking.
Well, there's this new user, Rainbold, fairly new, and they've done this really neat thing. They've opened up a thread for people to do a holiday art swap. You know, you draw a piece of art, you gift it to someone else. All the details are in the thread. They're going to randomly swap people, so it's not just going to be like, oh yeah, you know, the person before you. It's going to be, you never know. And it looks like they're open to different art medias. Got lots of different talent in there, and it looks like there's actually a user, Ping111. Looks like he's, or she, is going to be contributing a song as their art piece. So if you do...
Ping is a male. Ping is a male.
Okay, good.
Love you, Ping.
So, you know, if you do any kind of art, I'm sure they'd be open to writing, music, drawing, whatever for the art exchange.
Maybe I should capitalize on my monopoly of singing and submit something.
Go for it.
Go for it. I will go for it. That is exactly what I will do.
I would enter this, but right now I've made a promise to myself not to pick up my tablet until the end of the month, simply because I've got so much stuff I need to do, and if I start drawing, I'm not going to be able to stop myself.
I thought Lent was in April. Where you had to give up something for a month. You can just say that for now that like you did Lent down in November, and then whenever Lent does come around, you just don't have to do anything.
But NaNoWriMo is in November.
What's NaNoWriMo?
National Novel Writing Month.
Really?
Yeah,
Well,
there was actually a thread on Canterlot.
Paul is an artist. not a writer.
How dare you?
Well, that's what most people know him for.
I am a dilettante, my good sir.
A dilettante.
I choose to believe that means I dabble in everything. I like to think I can be equally terrible at anything I put my hands to.
Equally terrible at anything you put your hands to. So that makes you a bard among bards. Is that what you're saying?
Well, being bad at something is the first step to being sort of good at something.
Oh, I'm bad at everything. Okay. So back to the holiday art swap. So tell me this. So it's not like a Secret Santa?
It pretty much is a Secret Santa, from what I can tell, with art, but instead of gifts.
Yeah, Rainbow's gonna randomly assign people. I don't know if they'll know who they are. It's up to the OP.
Mm-hmm.
It does look like it's going to be a surprise for everyone.
Surprise!
It says in the original post, please send the picture by PM, because they're going to post all the pictures at once as a surprise.
Okay, what is this about a bonbon hugging backpack?
Have you not seen the Bonbon Hugging Backpack? A new user called Not only got 4 posts on the forum at the moment, but she was inspired by the Rainbow Dash Hugging Backpack to make this.
What is this? It's bonbon, but it has Lyra's mark.
Well, of course.
Well, yeah.
Oh, I see where we're going with this.
Shipping!
Well played.
And today's shipping forecast issued by the Met Office at 0300 hours.
Arriving shortly. Oh, and by the way, if you scroll down a bit, you can see a post by Steel Eagle in which it's got Lyra with a super happy face on her.
So shipping, as we say.
Shipping.
And it looks like she's planning to make another backpack in the future.
Shut up and take my money.
Definitely.
And
I have to say,
yeah.
Please do. And if you listen to this, please, we want to see more, because it looks really, really well made. There's a link on the thread to her DeviantArt profile, which has got some different angles. And I say, it just looked like a really well made little item. And I want one.
All that Saucy wants for Christmas is a bonbon backpack. Just to cuddle and dangle and probably later mangle with every little... You know what? I don't even know where I'm going with this.
Yeah, I was just waiting for you to figure that out.
Whenever we do a Canterlot voice episode, we normally have an interview. However, even though she's already been on our podcast before, we're not going to be doing an interview today. So, as much as I hate to say it, we're just going to be skipping over that kind of aspect of the podcast. So, if anybody
you could interview Scootaloo.
But chickens don't talk.
Does so.
I'm sure. Okay, guys, we are now going to get into a part of the podcast in which we don't really do normally, or to a very big extent.
It's something we've been trying to do more and more of, simply because such a large portion of Canterlot is the RP, the roleplay.
I think it's very fair to say that whenever it comes to roleplay, Tails is probably the one who knows about it the most. So,
One of.
well, I mean, she seems to be at 10 at one time right now, am I right?
Yeah, well, it's 8 now.
With
Luna. Well, just with Luna.
Oh.
I mean, I have 10 overall.
Oh, okay.
I have like
She's a
12,
professional, everybody.
14.
You hear that? Tails is a professional. She's correcting
Always.
us. She's always correcting us. All right, so Tails, can you tell us about this Ask Me Anything Princess Edition? Because, I mean, you are a princess, aren't you? So, I mean...
Of course.
Oh, of course.
And I am the best princess.
So, let's go on with what we got here. Correspondence AMA Princess Edition Open.
I believe the AMA stands for Ask Me Anything.
I believe
Yeah.
you're right.
Yes. It was originally Diomedes' idea. He came to me, and whoever plays Cadence keeps changing her username. So, whoever that is. Formerly GLaDOS.
Has it changed again?
Whoever. Yeah, like yesterday it changed. What is it now? Called Crystal Heart is now who plays Cadence.
So whoever...
the same player, but just the new username.
So Cadence is played by a player?
Variously known as GLaDOS, Crystal Heart, Aria, and...
I was just being a jerk about it. Okay, I get it.
Princess
I
Celestia.
was just being a professional jerk.
So anyway, yeah, Dio came and he says, "Hey, do you want to join this? Do this thread? Princess Edition. Ask anything." So, any role player is welcome to come and write to any or all of the princesses, asking any question at all, as long as it's G-rated for the kids.
Have you had any particularly interesting questions yourself yet that you've answered?
Yeah, I had a Nightmare Moon question that I had to make up something on the spot because we don't have any lore for it. So I just had to kind of try to be vague and try to give a decent answer.
Yeah, how'd that work out?
I'm pretty sure Luna has had the most letters.
Really?
Luna, I think, actually got the first 2 letters in the
Yeah.
thread. Dio started it, and then
Like, what kind of stuff are people asking?
I had a couple of characters, the Skybright twins, who they admire the sky. So I've got a lot of Luna compliments. I'm talking to a pirate right now.
A pirate.
Yeah,
All right.
There's all sorts of ponies in the roleplay.
there is all sorts.
I was told a long time ago by, I think it was Phil the Time Wizard, that mods and, like, people who are big in ERP, like, I was told that they do not like it whenever big name characters get involved with, like, OCs.
No. Okay, the thing is that when you're creating an OC, it's not a good idea to say, oh yeah, they've been friends with, or they've talked to, or they've seen such and such cast character.
But it's okay whenever they hang out with certain main cast all the time.
It's completely okay to work out a relationship through roleplay, absolutely.
Okay.
You know, if you've got an idea that you want to put into your app, but it won't work 'cause it's with a cast character, you can totally go to that person and ask, hey, can we do a role play, and work that out.
Okay, I see.
As they're holding cast characters, they can deny you and say, well, no, I don't want to do a thread, or I'm busy.
Let's go on to our next thread. Running of the leaves. Is this a very fall kind of autumny kind of thing? Because that's what I'm initially picking up just by the title. I don't really know much about it. What have we here?
What kind of brony are you?
It was an event in the show.
I'm sorry.
Wow.
It was in an
It was
episode.
the center of an episode.
You know what?
Let's fall with their
I
friends.
am blonde. You can see it in the brony behind the computer thing. I am a very blonde-haired, blue-eyed man. I don't want to hear it. I have brain farts every so often. It happens.
Stop using that as an excuse. On behalf of all intelligent blonde-haired, blue-eyed males everywhere,
So
do your research, man.
So it's kind of like a contest. Is that what I'm saying? It almost looks like the Iron Pony. Almost. There's even scores and stuff posted too.
Yeah, it's kind of like the Running of the Leaves that ran last year that was actually official. But I'm not actually participating in this one. I was out of town when it started. But basically, you just roleplay in the different sections, and they'll be open for a few days, and then you get scored based on how good your post was, and then you get a little bit of a random roll for luck, and there's different ways you can earn extra boosts. And you can join at any time. I mean,
Come on in, everybody. It's open.
They're on the 4th section right now. There's still 3 more sections besides that, so you've still got a pretty good chance.
When we release this podcast, they'll probably be on stage 5.
Some of these places don't even sound familiar. Okay, I mean, yeah, like Ponyville, Whitetail.
The Rearing Ravine.
They're a lot of the same things from last year. Like the ravine in the episode when Applejack, was it? Or was it one of them took the wrong trail?
Yeah, that's right.
On this
that's
kind
right.
of cliff. So it's all things we saw in the show. We've just given them our own names.
Oh, that's cool.
Like, they're going through a forest. There's going to be streams, rivers. There's going to be open glade areas. Sweet Apple Acres is right next to it. They start in Ponyville. So it's all from the episode. So here's another thing about asking a cast character to roleplay. I've gotten a few times where someone says, hey, do you want to do a thread with my character and your cast character? And I say, well, let's see. What's your idea? And they say, well, I've got this character that's awaiting approval or that, has been approved. And I'm like, okay, so what did you want to do? And they're like, well, let's do a roleplay. And I'm like, yes. What do you want to happen in this role play? I'm not going to agree to it and then just have us not know what we're doing. I mean, if you're going to have, pitch a role play to a cast or OC, have an idea. Don't just say, oh, hey, your character looks cool. I mean, sometimes that works and the other person will be like, oh, yeah, let's do it. Let's do this. And they'll have an idea. But I prefer it if people who want to do a role play with me have, a general idea of, okay, this is how it starts. This is where I'd like it to go. They want to role play with the cast character, but they don't have an idea. And I'm like, well, I'm not going to come up with it. You're the one who wants to RP.
And for the people who, again, are listening to this podcast, it's not like Tails is singling anyone out, but you know who you are. Just saying. Stop playing with Tails' emotions, guys. She's a lady. She's a very, very
lady talking about that little lady.
Hey, sexy lady. Couldn't help it. I actually know that whole song and with the Korean lyrics. I love it so much.
This does not surprise me at all.
Yeah, it shouldn't. It really shouldn't.
It seems like it would be a good idea to just ask a few more questions about your sort of advice to roleplayers. Because last week, of course, we had 2 roleplayers talking about roleplay from the side of just a regular member. You're, of course, more than a regular member. You roleplay a cast character, Princess Luna, of course. Also a moderator as well.
Yes.
You've got a bit of a different perspective. So what would your advice be to role players? What is the most important thing when you're starting a roleplay thread, for example?
I wrote the entire roleplay for New People Guide.
Oh, that's right.
I,
You did do that.
I did. So I have
She's
lots
a professional. Remember, guys, she's a professional.
Pro, legit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, if you're starting a topic, whether as cast or as OC, we're just going to do an open thread. Nobody's been invited. You're a new person. And it's in the main RP, not the free for all. So the thing is, tell a little bit about your character. If you can, maybe give a link to the character so people aren't like, well, now I've got to search for this character. Who am I role playing with? Give it a little description. Do something that others can react to. It's very important. There's like two really base elements of roleplay. Number one, react to what the other people have done, ponies in the thread have done. You know, like someone gets sprayed with a hose, say that your character got splashed or they saw it and they're like, hey, what are you guys doing? And then say something or do something like slip in the mud or something so that other ponies can react to what yours has done. It irks me when I say something or do something and they react and that's it. And so I'm like, okay, so what does my character do now? Your character hasn't given me anything to go off of. So you have to play off each other.
And as was mentioned last week, make sure to read the entire post. It's politeness.
Yeah.
Now, I will say, if there is one thing that I definitely do agree with you with, Tails, is the whole post who your character actually is, like post a link to them, like because that has happened to me a lot, and it's really annoying. There's a person.
Or have a character log and keep it updated.
Yeah.
Because then you can just be like, oh, who's this character? And they say, oh, they have a log. Look, I can just click this right here. Easy.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and there's another thing. One-line posters.
In the World of Equestria roleplay, the staff do recommend 5 or 7 lines of new content, which is about a paragraph or so, a lengthy paragraph, maybe 2. If you've got an open thread and someone comes in with their approved character and says, oh yeah, and they respond with 1 line, you can totally PM them and say, hey, look at how much I did in my first post. Can you do
something
somewhere?
Similar?
Yeah, along those lines, because when you're the OP, you can decide location, how long posts have to be, and you're in control of that thread.
Mm-hmm.
And if the user is being completely uncooperative, then you can go up to the mods or whoever and say, hey, you know what, I try to be nice, and it's not working. So when you're the OP, feel free to talk to everybody in that thread and say, hey, let's do this, let's not do this, because you're in control when you start the thread.
And everybody knows that Tails loves to be in control. Big spoiler alert to anyone who hasn't seen it yet. One bad apple. I hadn't seen any spoilers about the episode, but there were just certain things about it I could just predict. The song was one thing I could never predict.
Biopsy, what we gonna do? Got a bully on our tail, gotta hide, we gotta bail.
It kind of reminded me of something you'd see like out of a Scooby-Doo show. Like,
the bully story's been done numerous times in kids' cartoons, so...
It is there for a reason, though. At times like this, I think it's very important for the Brony community as a whole to accept that we are a periphery demographic. We are not the target audience for this.
No, we are not.
You have to expect things like this, and looking at it from the sort of perspective of a younger child, I think this episode does exactly what it's supposed to do.
Yeah, I completely agree.
It puts the message across very well. It provides sort of humanising element for the bully, which is always an important thing to note. I think
Applejack's character did a very good job of portraying to kids that if you come to an adult, they will understand and they will be able to help you.
Definitely. What did you think of the episode, Tails, other than the song, of course?
I did like the song. It was so cute. I think they released it yesterday, and I saw it and then forgot to watch. So I like how Apple Bloom yelled out, "That's her," while she was looking at a male pony with a cutie mark and a beard.
I thought it was funny whenever she pointed out the cow.
A well put together scene, timing-wise especially, I thought.
Yeah. They seem to really show the front of the characters' faces a lot. They didn't do like a lot of side portraits. Like, I do not ever recall an episode in which I've seen the very exact front in which you could see both eyes, the nose, like it was almost like circular for all of their faces as much as this episode. Like, for some reason, I don't know. I just seem to notice it a lot, this one.
Could be a sort of subconscious thing that's designed to sort of... Because of the whole point of this episode is it's a lesson episode.
Yeah.
So to actually have the characters talking directly to the audience rather than to each other a bit,
You know, that's a really good point. I didn't even think about that. What do you think, Tels?
I think they've definitely, since the beginning, they've kind of learned how to do frontal views a lot better. So they still look pretty awkward, but you know, it works better if you do kind of like a side frontal view.
Sort of 3/4 view.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You think about all the things that you love to do, and you're happy to. It all
Okay,
comes
we are
true.
not going to. No, no,
Find
no, no, no,
something
no,
you
no,
never
no,
knew.
no, 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 no. Depends on the
We
song.
can be who we want
You
to
know what? I'm
be.
not even gonna bother.
At
Go
the
ahead, just go
littlest
do
pet
it.
shop, you and me, we can be, yeah, who we
Go ahead,
want
Paul.
to be. At the littlest pet shop, you and me.
Littlest.
Littlest pet shop pets.
Am I allowed to sing random songs? I think the thing to take away from this is, while we all agree that the episode has its purpose and it serves that purpose well, it's really hard to talk about an episode where it isn't really aimed at us. So
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I'm sure there's plenty of adults that got bullied at some point in their life, and this would have helped them if they'd known it sooner.
Mm-hmm.
I got bullied, so
Reminds me of my elementary school.
I've been bullied quite a bit myself, so I know what it's like.
it is relatable in a way.
I mean, I'm sure that there are very few bronies who can honestly say that they've gone through their whole experience without somebody trying to make fun of them, to be perfectly honest. Even though it's directed towards children, the episode as a whole, I think it almost kind of conveys a message to both sides of the fandom. Would anybody agree to me here that if Sweetie Belle cries for a long enough time, do you think she'd be able to, like, break glass? Maybe that's her cutie mark.
I did have to turn down my speakers for that.
Yeah, I did as well. It happened, and I had to rip my headset off my head. Like, it hurt a lot, actually.
I did like this line. Maybe we'll get our cutie marks in the stupidest ideas of all time. And they've just had so.
Why is life
many-
so ironic?
They've had.
Why is life so ironic?
You're better
I
at it
can't
than
do
I am.
sweetie. But it's still too high pitched. I hate it.
We have some shout-outs. We would like to say that it is a very, very, very special event that Connor has finally hit his 2000th post, which I must say is quite the achievement here at Canterlot.com.
Yeah, it's quite impressive.
I mean, I myself am not even up to 500, so for him to be at 2000, wow.
Hey, the guy's a writer.
Oh, that's right, he is. Good for him. And I think wow, look at the artwork down at the bottom. That's
It is neat when regular users can hit some, things like 1,000, 2,000,
Just wait for whenever Rose one hits over 9,000.
But I'm over 9,000. I was there first.
You were there first?
I have 10,000 right now.
10,000?
I
Okay.
have 10,000. That was why I was using sarcasm before when you're like, "Oh yeah, it's really good." And I'm like, "Yeah, that's impressive, I guess." Or,
All right. It's got Connor and like two other OCs of his all put together in some kind of like actionistic post. One's with a birdie, one's him with a hoodie on, and the other's reading intently. It's like black and red. It's some pretty.
I did that artwork myself.
You did that?
Yes, because I did draw that, yes. Basically, in the thread, he's talking quite a bit about what a wonderful place Canterlot is.
Rosewind's thankfulness thread.
And this is in a similar vein to Connor's thread. It's not to mark a landmark post or anything, but it is just for Thanksgiving, because you Americans have your weird holidays for some reason.
If any of you care at all, tonight for Thanksgiving dinner, I had chocolate chip waffles and turkey and gravy. It was quite wonderful.
You ask if anyone cares?
Yeah, no one cares. I don't care. It was quite delicious, though. For this thankfulness thread, we have a celebration of Americans who celebrate a fake
America
who celebrates a fake holiday. If there's
misinterpreted.
There you go. Though, if there is one thing about Thanksgiving that irks me, to be perfectly honest, it's the fact that we take one day of our entire year to sit down and be thankful for everything that we have. And then a couple hours later, we beat people to every single department store in the area to try and buy stuff that we don't already have.
Capitalism away!
I don't know. That was just something that I thought it's something that I kind of realized the other day. I was just kind of like, that makes sense. Like, why are we like that? Like, why does it go immediately from, oh, I love my family and my friends and I'm happy for everything I have, to, oh my God, Black Friday deals.
Oh my God, Black Friday, which is actually like
There's
Black
screen
Thursday
television
now.
and Xbox 360. Oh my God, Black Ops 2. It's just, like, I mean, granted, I'm not denouncing the entire holiday as a whole, or nor am I denouncing the thread. That was just something that I was curious about. But what are you guys thankful for? Granted, Paul, I know that you don't celebrate this holiday, but you can feel free to say things that you're thankful for as well if you want.
I think I would genuinely like to echo Connor's sentiment in his thread. This is going to sound really cheesy, but finding Canterlot has probably been the most helpful thing to happen to me in the last couple of years, because I've been through some bad times, and I'm not sure if it was coincidence or there was a cause and effect relationship, but finding Canterlot.com actually it's made me actually get off my backside and do things.
Really? Like what exactly?
I spent 4 or 5 years without drawing anything. Now I'm actually starting. I've actually started. People are actually saying they like my work and actually giving me advice, and
Yay.
Yay.
There you go.
I've somehow got involved in a podcast as well, which is probably an awful mistake on someone's behalf, as you can probably tell.
Yeah, probably. I didn't record myself at all until I met Crescent Blaze, so I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Crescent Blaze. No one would know how well I sing, or nobody would know how I am on radio, and no one would. I'd just be kind of one of those members that really don't do anything. Not saying that there are abundance of them, but you have to admit there are some members who do stuff that make people know who they are, and then there are members who don't really do very much. I'm just thankful for all the opportunities that I've had to, whether or not it's been from Canterlot or from other places, just for the opportunities that I've had to make myself a better person as a whole. That's what I'm thankful for. I'm thankful for the opportunities that I've had to expand upon myself. What about you, Tails?
Oh my. I mean, Canterlot, obviously. Thankful for that. I was looking to get into voice acting around the time the show started, and it really offered me an opportunity to do that, to get into projects, because, you know, it's nice if you're in the anime fandom and you're like, oh yeah, I want to be like one of the voice actors, but there's so many projects that are out there. There's not the creativity section of Pony-chan allows you to just browse through all the pony projects going on, and it's like, oh, this is great. It's all right here. It's easy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thankful for all the users. I love the users. I love the people. I love the people. I love the people.
I'm gonna peeper.
People are simultaneously the best and worst thing in the universe, in my opinion,
Yeah.
and often both at the same time.
Well, I mean,
and
they make the universe, you know.
without people, there'd still be a universe, but it wouldn't be anywhere near as fun, would it?
Yeah, you have a point.
Once again, happy Thanksgiving especially to all our American listeners.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. And, well, Canterlot, this is the end of our episode. Thank you for joining us, and we are just going to wrap it up. And speaking of wrapping things up, oh, what a magical place, and I owe it all
to the Pegasus ring.
And
If I knew the ground had so much of its sleeve, I'd have come here sooner and never leave.
Yes,
Oh, I love everything.
Ew. You want to try that again, Tails?
Yeah, that was awful. It's because she's got such a... If I knew the ground had so much of its sleeve, I'd have come here sooner and never leave. Oh, I love everything.
There you go.
I totally botched the ending line.
One more
the
time.
ending note. I totally botched it because
One more.
I can't get it.
I'm going to start singing songs I know in a minute.
3 months of winter coolness and autumn days. No one's gonna.
You've kept.
Whatever. Okay,
No,
you know
that
what?
song's hard to sing.
Not really.
Like, I don't know. There's something wrong with the vocals. I don't know.
Bye. Yeah, that's about it. Anyway, have a nice day, everybody, and we will see you next week. Take care.
See you then.